we go. Woohoo! Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Rick with Nahulu Arts. I did manage to get a few days of fishing in, and I did manage to find a few fish. I'm starting out here using my light gear 6-pound test, and I'm using the 2.5 inch version of the Diablo, and I get a hookup here. A small little Papio, but I haven't seen a Papio for a few weeks, so I was pretty happy about that. I'm still sticking with the 2.5 inch Diablo, and I'm on again. It's a nice little kaku, and he didn't do too much damage to the fly, so I'm still in good shape. Although he kind of got the leader in his mouth, so I did have to swap that out. Since I had to swap that leader, I decided to change over to a white stripe. Still a 2.5 inch version, the small one. The sun was starting to come out and everything looked a little brighter, so I thought that white stripe might add a little more flash and attract a little better. I hooked a really small lie here. I don't think I've ever caught a lie in this spot before. He's pretty small, and I thought because he was small that I might not have any trouble with the little prickly spots they got on him, but he got me and I dropped him, but picked him up and set him back free. The clouds came back in, so I decided to go back with the darker color and tied back on a Diablo and managed to find another hookup. This guy smacked it once and didn't get hooked on, and then came back and smacked it again. But I went to go tighten my drag and he came off. This is a different morning and a different beach. I'm kicking it off with the olive and yellow, and a kaku's going to grab it about the time it gets just a few yards off the beach. switched over to a bare bones blue, and everything I'm fishing here now are all 3.5 inch flies. The bare bones flies are all 3.5 inches. I don't make a 2.5 inch on those style flies. And I managed to find another cuckoo here. I'm using a bare bones purple, and I'm gonna hook up a nunu here. And I don't very often show footage of me catching nunu just because they're kind of a nuisance fish, but this one was one of the bigger ones that I think I've ever caught, so I thought that was kind of fun. At the time, I didn't know what I'd hooked because it's kind of more of a dead pull. I mean, it's pulling back, but you don't get that head shake and not really making any runs or anything, so I didn't know what I had here. Went out the next morning early, throwing my Diablo, and finally found a really good fish.
Damn it.
Dang it. That guy didn't break off or anything, he just came unhooked. So I've still got my Diablo and I'm throwing it back out, and I find another fish, though not quite the same size. You can see this kaku's completely swallowed this fly, and I'm not really going to get it out of his mouth without doing some damage to him. And so I have some hemostats, and you can go back into the gill if you can see that the hook is just around the gill area, and you can pull it out hopefully gently, maybe a little more gently than that. But I didn't do any damage to him. I just pulled it back through the gill and then cut my leader and pulled the leader, away from his gill and out through his mouth. And back in the water he goes, no damage. So my fly was a little bit chewed up, obviously, because he was chomping away at it. And I switched over to a blue and green, and I managed to find myself a little Papio. I hit it again the next morning with that Diablo again, hoping to find that big guy. I found fish, but not that big guy.
Baby.
Aww.
Okay, let's try that again. I think this guy was even smaller. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, we're getting a little bit bigger. The sun came out and the water is still a little bit murky from all the rains that we've had, and I switched over to the brown. I just haven't fished the brown in a while. I've had good success with it, and I have a little bit of success right here. That guy was just a little bit bigger than the one before, so let's throw that brown fly right back out there and see what we can hook up. Anthony sent me this picture of a nice Omilu on his cutting board that he picked off using the olive and yellow fly. Keep sending me pictures of the fish you guys catch on nahuluartsflies. The links and the email address are in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Looks like we're finally starting to find some fish again. The water's warming up and conditions are looking good. And I hope you tune in again for the next video while we catch some more fish using nahuluartsflies.